I spoke about Shango, fire. If Shango is fire, the color of fire is usually red. His color is red. The red blood cells in our body are Shango. Circulation of our blood. He is responsible for the male and female, but mostly the male, reproductive organs. So when we are having a blast outstaking or any kind of those things that we get, we say, oh, Shango, help us, because, you know, it hurts. It's the reproductive organs. Yemaya. Yemaya, I said, is Mother Earth, the water. She's all the waters. She owns all water, salt and sweet. Rainfall, water that comes from the faucet, water that you buy in the bottle, that's all her water. She's letting you drink it. In Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember my pictures, there are statues of Jemaya, or women with multiple breasts, who feeds. She's feeding. She's in charge of the kidneys. She heals the kidneys, because what goes through the kidneys? Water. Female reproductive organs. She shares that with another deity, and I'll get to her in a little bit. Wherever fluids go through, it's a filter, she's there. We have Obatala. Obatala means chief of the white cloth. Father Sky, some people will say. He's kind of like responsible for the creation of the human form. And there's a story that goes, he was tempted with palm wine, and he got a little bit tipsy. And you know what they say, don't operate heavy machinery if you're drinking alcohol. He continued working, and that's where the deformities were born. So he is responsible for the care of all children born with birth defects. But he is also responsible for the brain, the mass, the brain mass, the central nervous system. We do healings with Obatala to calm ourselves. Simple healings that you can even do. You don't have to be a follower. You don't have to be a believer. Just have. So Obatala is about tranquility, calm, serene, but don't get him upset. Oshun. Oshun. Oshun is, how can I say, the epitome of what beauty is in the world. Oshun, what the saying goes, that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, correct? Oshun, everything is beautiful. We, as human beings, say, ooh, that's later, that's ugly, that's this, that's that. That's us as human beings. She doesn't see it that way. She's love. She heals love. She also shares the kidneys and the reproductive organs with Yemaya. Oshun, well, okay, yeah, I can talk hours on Oshun and Yemaya, but I won't. But those are the healings. Oya. Oya, for me, is a female warrior. She gave Shango the gift of lightning because she's the wind, the tornado, the hurricane. That's her. So if she's the wind, what's her healing? What does she work on in our bodies? The lungs. She works on the lungs. People that are initiated into Oyun or Oya should not smoke. She doesn't like people that smoke because you're ruining her lungs. Yeah, I see some people going, Let me tell you, a lot of people that are, they do it, you know, hey, you know, she doesn't like it. You know, when she takes your breath away, then you'll know. She deals with the breath. So if she's dealing with the breath, she's also dealing with a lot more because when you breathe in, she's putting oxygen into your bloodstream. Yes?
She can also heal lung disease?
Yeah. She deals with lung disease. When we have a disease,
okay.
Take the word, look at the word, disease. In English anyway, in Dutch it's different. Dis-ease. Dis-ease. That means that our body is not at ease. There is something wrong, so we have to make it right. Most diseases that are out here in the world, we can live with a lot of them. Some of them more than others. But it's about adjusting your life to the dis-ease. If you have let's say you have an infection, whatever the infection might be. Right now I'm starting to get a kind of a little bit of a cold. That's a little infection. This infection comes into your body. There's nothing you can do. It's there, right? Set ground rules. Set the ground rules for that disease in your body. And you can, the way I used to tell people is, I have this infection. I didn't invite you. So here's what you're going to do. You can stay in my body if you have to, but you're not going to make me sick. You have a conversation with the disease, with the infection, with those cells that are infected. I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to live forever. No one's going to live forever. I certainly hope not. But just have a conversation with whatever is inside of you that needs to be healed until you can create or find the healing that you need. There's a difference between healing and curing, and you have to understand that. You can't cure certain things. You can heal them so that they don't come back, but it's not always all taken out. And a lot of people say that's not true. I said, well, maybe not. But from what I've seen over the many years, we have to work in harmony with our bodies. And we as human beings mistreat our body. Osain. Osain is not in our body, he comes into our body because he's the medicine. He's the one we go to, if you look at science, all medicines are botanical. Most of them anyway. Now they're going too many chemicals into the medicines. But you go, again, think of your grandmothers. What did they do? They went, again, to the garden. It's easy for us here. If you live in an apartment, if you have a balcony, grow stuff on your balcony. Grow stuff on your windowsill. Simple things that you can get anywhere, any market. And just grow it. Learn about some of those medicines, some of those herbs, some of those teas that we take. because they help us. All healing is essentially the release of fear. I'll say it again. All healing is essentially the release of fear. Think about that in today's climate, whether it be medical, physical, spiritual, the neighbor next door. Sometimes we live in big apartment buildings or in houses, but we don't know who the neighbor is next door. They look different. We fear them because we don't know them. But we don't take the effort to try and know them. Not that you have to have them over for coffee. No. But understanding your neighbor, the person next to you. Understanding that person and their cultures can put you at ease. Because you're not allowing your own prejudice to knock them out or block them out. So, you want to be healed? You want to heal the earth? Understand it. And let go of your own fears. Because fears are, you know, the detriment of the earth. We have so many wars because it's out of fear. And there's so many diseases that people don't even look at themselves because they're fearful. The fear of witchcraft.
I hear a lot of people talk about it.
I want to say one word to that. Ignorance. People are afraid, they say witchcraft, you know, as Roland said in the beginning, they talk about, if I say voodoo, when I'm talking to groups sometimes, the first word I come out is, when I say voodoo, what are you saying? Puppets, zombie, this, that, and the other. Do you know where all that comes from? I'm going to ask you, do you know where all that comes from? Hollywood. The fear comes from Hollywood. With the first talkie movies in the 1920s, actually really there was a little bit before, but the real talkie movie, I forget the name of it, but it was supposedly in a jungle. And I don't know where this jungle was. I've never seen a jungle like that. But they had these, I don't want to, you know, they had these people as Africans. Or they were Africans. I don't know if it was a real jungle or a studio.
Tarzan.
Kind of Tarzan. Yeah, kind of Tarzan. And, you know, they depicted these Africans as cannibals, doing things with dolls, puppets, and people walking around in zombies. You know, like zombies with white face. So the media created this hysteria that all Africans, or if you come from Haiti, you're a priest of voodoo or you practice voodoo. The actual name is voodoo, it's not voodoo all the time. And people got fearful. And that snowballed. Up to now, in 2013, people still fear that concept. Where voodoo is nothing but another tradition, another religion. Like Santeria, like Vinti, like any of the others in the world. I always tell people when they tell me that, you know, in every religion, in every tradition, there's good and there's bad.